What is up, YouTube? This is Cam Fats coming at you on behalf of the Cam Fats Daily Vlog. Welcome to day 69. No weird jokes. Get your mind out of the gutter. Anyways, I want to talk to you guys about something that you see as probably a reoccurring theme in my vlogs, but it is what it is. It's what's on my mind, and I want to talk about it. Let me ask you this question, all right? I'm going to get into this stuff with this vlog, but let me ask you this question right here at the beginning. How much is too much for you when it comes to technology? Is there a such thing as too much when it comes to technology? Is there a place where you put your foot down and draw the line when it comes to technology, where you would stand up and say, that is not okay, I'm not on board with that? For some philosophical reason, for some religious reason, for some ethical reason, for some moral reason, is there a place where you would stand up and say, I'm not okay with this technology. I don't care how good your intentions are with this technology. I see it falling into the wrong hands. I see it being used for evil, because that's what happens with technology, right? It's not about good or evil. It's about power. Right? Technology falls into the hands of people who would use it to build leverage for themselves and for their companies. And oftentimes that means technology being misused for the wrong thing. That's a whole nother story. But I want to ask you that. How much is too much when it comes to technology for you? So let me know in the comment section what you think about that. 1 or 2 words is fine. 1 simple sentence is fine. You don't have to write me a book. If you want to write me a book, you can. If you want to write a giant paragraph about your thoughts on the issue, go ahead. But you don't have to. A simple one-liner is great. Appreciate all your comments and opinions, guys. I love to hear what you think about these issues. Is it something you don't even think about? Is technology something you really don't even think about that much? Do you feel blessed to have all the technology you have? Are you glad you're living in a time where there's tons of technology out there? There's so much you can do. We have houses that are computerized. You know, our phones can turn our lights on and off. We have devices that can order pizzas for us. Now we have the subject of my video today, cars that drive themselves. But technology is just at a place where it's really advanced, and maybe you feel good about it. Or maybe you are terrified about it and you hate how things have gone. I would love to know your feelings on it in the comment section. Let me know, and let me get into the subject of today's video. Driverless car technology. I'm going to share my screen with you guys on this one. Okay. Got a couple articles I want to look at with you. Okay. This first one is from July 2016. A Tesla driver killed while using Autopilot was watching Harry Potter, witnesses say. When I read this headline, I thought to myself, what is the point of talking about him watching Harry Potter? How does that matter? How does that really matter? And if you look at this, you can see Harry Potter is like right dead center. Right dead center, right? You know, it's just like right there, you know? And if we go on, driver in the first known fatal self-driving car crash was also driving so fast that he went so fast through my trailer I didn't see him, the truck driver involved said. The Tesla driver killed in the first known fatal car crash involving a self-driving car may have been watching a Harry Potter movie at the time of the collision in Florida, according to a truck driver involved in the crash. Now I want to ask you guys a question. What does him watching a Harry Potter movie have to do with anything? I mean, what is that? What are they trying to say there? That like he was so engrossed in this Harry Potter movie that like, you know, he didn't even notice his self-driving car was slamming him into a truck. I mean, what does it matter what movie he was watching? Why didn't they just say he was watching a movie at the time of the collision? What is the point of saying he was watching a Harry Potter movie? What does that have to do with anything? It's one of those weird little anomalies that doesn't make sense. It's like, what does that have to do with this article? Why is it in here, right? But it keeps on getting repeated over and over. It was in the title right here. It was again right here. The truck driver Frank Baresi, 62, told the Associated Press that Tesla driver Joshua Brown was playing a Harry Potter movie on the TV screen during the collision. Was driving so fast. He went so fast through my trailer I didn't see him. It's repeated again right there. The disclosure raised a further question about the 7th of May crash in Williston, Florida, which occurred after Brown put his Model S into Tesla Autopilot mode, which is able to control a car while it's driving on the highway. The fatal crash, which federal highway safety regulators are now investigating, a significant setback and a public relations disaster for the growing autonomous vehicle industry. Tesla Motors Incorporated shares, however, were down less than 1% on Friday in early trading. It's amazing because, like, I didn't really hear anything about that in 2016. That was 2 years ago. Man, that story must have got swept under the rug because I never heard much about it at all. Baresi, who did not immediately respond to requests for comment, said the Harry Potter movie, there it is mentioned again, was still playing when he died and snapped a telephone pole a quarter mile down the road. He told AP, however, that he heard the movie but didn't see it. What does the movie have to do with anything? What is the point of that? I mean, that's just bizarre to me. I mean, it's mentioned so many times that he's watching the Harry Potter movie that, like, it feels like it wasn't a mistake. Like, it was really put in there on purpose. But it doesn't make sense. It's almost disrespectful. It's almost like they're disrespecting the guy who died by saying that. But this happened in 2016. Top of the vehicle was torn off by the force of the collision. Just want to see, you know, it's crazy. I don't know. It's just crazy, you know. So that happened in 2016. Apparently, The Guardian was in love with the fact he was watching a Harry Potter movie when it happened. I mean, why is the focus on him watching this Harry Potter movie? Why isn't the focus on this Tesla pretty much killing this dude? Last time I checked, Tesla S's were pretty expensive. So, you know, see, how much is a Tesla Model S? Just double check. I'm pretty sure it's over 100 G's, right? Okay, I'm sorry. 2018 Model S from 74,500, so about 75 grand for a Model S. So I figure he probably thought, you know, he could trust it. It was a $75,000 car. Thought he could trust it to do what it was supposed to do. Amazing. But this story really didn't see a lot of light, did it? Even this article doesn't even focus that much on the driverless car technology failing as much as it focuses on this guy watching a Harry Potter movie. It's amazing. Next up, this happened last month. This happened in March 19th. Happened less than 2 weeks ago. Self-driving Uber kills Arizona woman in first fatal crash involving a pedestrian. Now, see, they have to put fatal crash involving a pedestrian because it's not the first fatal crash with driverless car technology, is it? And we know that Tesla killed that guy in 2016. Now, this is 2018, and this happens again just 2 weeks ago. An autonomous Uber car. I've been telling you guys about Uber. They've been trying to do this driverless car technology for a while. Killed a woman in the street in Arizona, police said, in what appeared to be the first reported fatal crash involving a self-driving vehicle and a pedestrian in the U.S. Temp police said the self-driving car was in an autonomous mode at the time of the crash and that the vehicle hit a woman who was walking outside of the crosswalk and later died at a hospital. There was a vehicle operator inside the car at the time of the crash. Well, what was the vehicle operator doing? Uber said in a statement on Twitter, "Our hearts go out to the victim's family. We are fully cooperating with local authorities in their investigation of this incident." The spokesman declined to comment further on the crash. The company said it was pausing its self-driving car operations in Phoenix, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, and Toronto. You see that? The company said it was pausing its self-driving car operations in these 4 cities. Now, how much do you want to bet they have not paused their driverless car operations in other places? And they're just paused. They're just paused. They're not done with it. They're not done with it. They're going to keep going. They don't care how many people they kill. They're going to keep on going and keep on going. Dara Shashi, Uber CEO, tweeted, "Some incredibly sad news out of Arizona. We're thinking of the victim's family as we work with local law enforcement to understand what happened. Uber has been testing its self-driving cars in numerous states and temporarily suspended its vehicles in Arizona last year after a crash involving one of its vehicles, a Volvo SUV. When the company first began testing its self-driving cars in California in 2016, the vehicles were caught running red lights, leading to a high-profile dispute between state regulators and the San Francisco-based corporation. Police identified the victim as 49-year-old Elaine Herzberg and said she was walking outside of the crosswalk with a bicycle when she was hit at around 10 p.m. on Sunday. Images of the scene show a damaged bike." Let's take a look at these images. Ooh. Well, that's pretty sad. She died of her injuries at the hospital. Pretty sad. Pretty sad stuff. The vehicle was going 40 miles per hour when it hit the pedestrian. There was no indication the car attempted to slow itself before the collision. Just nailed her at 40 miles an hour. Uber says our hearts go out to the victim's family.
Spring is on, and it's time to get growing. As America's #1 professional lawn care company, True Green can tailor a plan that turns your ordinary lawn into an extraordinary one. So start your True Green.
Let's go ahead and we don't need to watch that. And then here again, this just happened. Here's another one. It just happened 31st of March, 2018. Less than a week and a half after that other accident, this Tesla car that crashed and killed driver was running on autopilot. We've seen that before, right? That just happened in 2016. Now it's happened again. Holy cow. Look at that thing. Man. Whew. Nothing left. Tesla has said a car that crashed in California last week, killing its driver, was operating on autopilot. The 23rd of March crash on Highway 101 in Mountain View is the latest accident to involve a self-driving technology. Earlier this month, a self-driving Volvo SUV that was being tested by the ride-hailing service Uber struck and killed a pedestrian in Arizona. Federal investigators are looking into the crash. Here's what I don't understand. How can Uber test a self-driving vehicle on the streets where real people are walking around? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't we have to go, test out to get a driver's license? But yeah, they can just have these autonomous cars just testing their driving skills on the road. I mean, it's crazy. Why? Why? I mean, I don't understand. How many innocent people have to die? Federal investigators are looking into the California crash as well as a crash in January of a Tesla Model S that may have been operating under the Autopilot system. In a blog post, Tesla said the driver of the sport utility Model X that crashed in the Mountain View, 38-year-old Apple software engineer Wei Hong, had received several visual and one audible hands-on warning earlier in the drive, and the driver's hands were not detected on the wheel for 6 seconds prior to the collision. I don't understand. I mean, what do you mean he had received several visual and one audible hands-on warning earlier in the drive? I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't understand. It's like there's more to this than meets the eye. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're covering it up. They're covering stuff up here. The driver had about 5 seconds and 150 meters of unobstructed view of the concrete divide, but the vehicle logs show that no action was taken. Well, I'm sure he didn't want to end his own life. I mean, You're sitting here telling me that like this car was giving him all these warnings and like what? He just didn't do anything. You know, you think he wanted to run into a concrete barrier? So what happened? The driver had about 5 seconds. Tesla also said the concrete highway divider had previously been damaged, increasing its impact on the car. The vehicle also caught fire, though Tesla said no one was in the vehicle when that happened. The company said its autopilot feature can keep speed, change lanes, and self-park, but requires drivers to keep their eyes on the road and hands on the wheel in order to be able to take control and avoid accidents. Wait a minute. Let's rewind that. Let's rewind that for a second. So you got an autopilot feature, but it requires them to keep their eyes on the road and their hands on the wheel. So how is that an autopilot? I mean, how is that different than cruise control? I mean, I don't get it. It's ridiculous. You're advertising it as autopilot, but you want the drivers to keep their hands on the wheel in order to be able to take control and avoid accidents. It's nonsense. You telling me that you're marketing that feature, autopilot, by telling people they need to keep their hands on the wheel of your $75,000 vehicle? I seriously doubt that. No one knows about the act. Sounds like a little bit of CYA to me. No one knows about the accidents that didn't happen, Tesla said. Only the ones that did. The consequences of the public not using autopilot because of an inaccurate belief that it is less safe will be extremely severe. Oh, really? Autopilot does not prevent all accidents, Tesla said, but it does make them less likely. There are about 1.25 million automotive deaths worldwide. If the current safety level of a Tesla vehicle were to be applied, it would mean about 900,000 lives saved per year. The company added that it cares deeply for and feels indebted to those who choose to put their trust in us. However, we must also care about people now and in the future whose lives may be saved if they know that autopilot improves safety. None of this changes how devastating an event like this is or how much we feel for our customers, family, and friends. We're incredibly sorry for their loss. You are? But you took this opportunity to plug how important autopilot technology is. It's amazing. That's amazing. You care deeply for and feel indebted to those who choose to put their trust in us. We must also care about people now and in the future whose lives may be saved if they know that autopilot improves safety. That's amazing that you took that. That's amazing. You took an event where somebody died and used it to push your agenda with autopilot technology, right? Isn't that what happened? Am I reading that right, you guys? Is that how you guys see that too? However, we must also care about people now and in the future whose lives may be saved if they know the autopilot improves safety. Like, who believes that at the very least that was bad form? Who believes at the very least that was bad form? I mean, I believe at the very least that was bad form. I mean, the guy died. Why are you using this? Why are you using this situation to push your autopilot agenda? It's nonsense. It's like damage control. It's like PR damage control and pushing your autopilot agenda. Here's what I'm saying, guys. I just read 3 articles to you. Randy Hall says it's no different from airlines saying flying is still the safest way to travel after an airplane accident. It's true. Randy's right. Same thing. It almost feels a little disrespectful in the light of people dying that you would use it to do PR damage control and push your agenda. It almost feels a little disrespectful. I mean, I think personally these companies should stop at "we are deeply sorry" and our condolences goes out to the family. I think they should just stop at that. Not use that public statement to push their agenda. I think it's bad form. At the very least, I think it's bad form. But here's my thing. with driverless car technology, and with any of these technologies, forget driverless car technology. I mean, I'm picking on driverless car technology, and I'm picking on driverless car technology because of this. It's a Pandora's box, right? It's like, why do we need to not know how to drive? You know? Do I like the idea of 3 generations from now, humans don't know how to drive anymore because we got computers doing it for us? What happens 5 generations from now? Are we not going to know how to eat anymore? Are we going to have computers feeding us? We're not going to know how to do anything? We're going to be so dumbed down and so basic as a human race that we're going to be useless. It's foolish. So I'm just saying, how much is too much? But I'll tell you what, it really doesn't matter. We can have our opinions, but the fact of the matter is these companies are not going to stop. All right? They are not going to stop. Because with these technology companies, there is no moral high ground. There is no ethics. It's just like, what can we do to improve our bottom line, right? New technology means more sales. Now, when it comes to Uber, you saw they said they were going to pause. They paused in those particular states out of respect for that situation. It was PR damage control. They're not going to stop. Do you know how much money they're going to save if they don't have to pay Uber drivers? Tons. We're talking about millions of dollars they're going to save by not having to pay Uber drivers. I've been talking about this Uber thing for 2 years. They're gonna save millions. They're not gonna stop. They don't care if somebody died. They don't care. They'll spin it. They'll spin it. They'll spin it, and they'll keep on doing it. They don't care. It doesn't matter how many people have to die for them to get their technology right. They do not care. It's ridiculous. I don't understand why people aren't more outraged by this. I really don't. Randy says in one of Jeffrey Fox's books, he talks about hiring a driver to take you everywhere so you can work while you're traveling because driving is one of the least productive things you can do. Maybe so. Maybe so. I personally enjoy driving. I don't mind driving. I like driving. You know what? I like driving around. Excuse me. I like driving around listening to the radio. I like driving around listening to sports talk radio. I enjoy it. And this is America. I think a lot of people enjoy driving. I don't think I'm the only one. I think people out there do enjoy driving. Randy says technology will always replace people, especially when the people are demanding more money than the value they bring. Man, it's bleak. It's bleak, man. It's bleak. It's bleak. It's bleak. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you know what? People are accustomed to making a certain amount of money in America, and places in the world other than America, people don't make that much money, and then for those jobs, right? So then, what happens is, as our economy, we're in a global economy now, so. If you have a global economy, I mean, that's more than just words. I mean, if we have a global economy, that means salaries, in theory, should start evening out all over the world, right? And when you take a country like America that has really high salaries compared to the rest of the world, I mean, it only makes sense that people's pay is going to drop. People are going to be making less money. That's just the way it is. They're not going to be happy about it. That's why I tell everybody, man, the money's online right now. You need to get online. All the money's online right now. It's not at the factory down the street. It's not at the gas station down the road. It's not at the store down this way. It's online. That's where the real money's at right now. That's what I think. But yeah, we're in a global economy, man. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. It's a global economy. But I'll tell you what, Randy, it's not going to stop, man. It's a Pandora's box, with this technology. It's not going to stop. Doesn't matter what I think. Doesn't matter what you think. we're just, we can speak our minds, but it's like it won't stop. It'll keep going. With this driverless car technology, it don't matter how many people die, they'll spin it. They'll spin it any which way. They'll do PR damage control, and it's just sad. It's sad. As a marketer, you see it. You know what I mean? You see it as a marketer. You see the spin. The first article I read for you guys, it was like, is this about a guy dying from Tesla auto driver technology, or is this about this guy watching a Harry Potter movie? I mean, who cares if this cat was watching a Harry Potter movie? This car just killed him. He paid 75 G's for the car. It was supposed to be able to drive by itself. His problem wasn't watching a Harry Potter movie. His problem was that he put his faith in that car. That was the problem. That wasn't a point that was made in the article, though. So, I don't know. It's really crazy, you guys. But I'd love to hear you guys' views on it. Is there a such thing as too far with technology? I mean, I feel like there is. I mean, I feel like we've come to a place where, I just don't know that we need some of this stuff. Randy says all technology starts out bad. It will keep improving. They will build roads for driverless vehicles. They will adjust road rules, and more cars become driverless. Their effectiveness will improve many times over. What do we need it for, man? Why do we even need it? Why do we even need it, dude? Why do we even need it? At what cost? At what cost? That's what I'm saying. At what cost? What is the cost? Listen, man, the easy way is not always the best way, you guys. Just because something's easy, that doesn't always make it the best. There are things you shouldn't sacrifice for convenience. That's the truth. Randy says, why do we need TV or the internet or amusement parks? That's a good point, but I don't know. I mean, you make good points, man, but here's the thing. Some of this technology is getting to a point where it's taking a lot away from us, Especially, like, we talk about television or the internet or amusement parks. The only one of those things that's really taking things away from us is the internet. It's taking our memory away from us. And that's a fact. MIT did a study on it. I talked about it in one of my vlogs recently. The internet is detrimental to your memory. But now, when it comes to the driverless car technology, I mean, look, the fact of the matter is, nobody wants to have things taken away from them. Nobody wants things taken. It's painful to lose things. Who wants to lose the ability to drive? Who wants to think about a world where they have grandkids who have no idea how to drive a car? They've never even seen a car with a steering wheel. Who wants that? I don't. They're going to tell you that they're safer. They're going to tell you that this is way better. Change, you know what? Change does scare people. Randy says change scares people. Change does scare people. Sometimes you need to be afraid sometimes. Man, being afraid keeps you alive sometimes. They would rather have a painful known than an unknown. I think you're insinuating that. Are you insinuating that you feel that driverless car technology is the future and it's going to be safer than us driving our own cars? I respect your opinion. If that's how you feel, I respect it. I don't agree with it. Randy, but I respect it. They told you about that, about computers. They told you about the internet. I respect it. You know what? Your opinion is good. I love diversity on this channel, but I do not agree. I think there is a place that goes too far. Now, listen, here's the thing, Randy. I think you believe there's a place that goes too far also. But like my place that feels like technology has gone too far might be different than your place that feels like technology has gone too far. However, I promise you this, Randy. I promise you this. Those companies have no limit on when technology has gone too far. They do not care. They will not care. That's the thing. Pollard says, I think it will be safer, Cam, but I don't like all the AI. Good point. Good point. I don't like all the AI either, Clint. I don't like all the AI either, man. I'm with you. And I agree with you guys. Maybe one day it might be safer. Who knows? But we're going to get it, whether it's safer or not. We're going to get it because it's making some company a whole bunch of money. It's more cost efficient. It's more cost efficient. So we're going to get it, whether it's safer or not. And they're going to feed us lies until it is safer. They'll just feed us lies about it being safer until the truth actually equals the lies. Who knows when that'll be? You know? Randy says Wally. That's interesting you said that, Randy, because you know what? In Wally, correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't humans all living up on a spaceship, all fat and lazy, and they didn't know how to do anything for themselves? They had like little hover chairs that fed them and bathed them and gave them drinks. It was ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. This stuff keeps me awake at night, you guys. I'm telling you, it's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Terrifying. I'll tell you what, brothers, we're all in this crap together, you know? I think that, you know what, guys? I think that, we all might disagree on what is okay and what is not okay. But I know one thing. I know we all have an idea of a limit where we don't want technology to go too far. And you know what? Those companies don't have those limits, guys. And that's what we got to be worried about. They don't have those limits, you know? Randy says the trick is to use the freedom that technology gives you. Don't waste it. Maybe so. Maybe so. I'm a technology hater. I remember when iPads came out. I remember when iPads came out, guys, and I said to myself, these iPads are stupid, man. I remember I was going to college. I just started going to college. Lost my job, 2010. Started going to college, and I remember I started seeing these iPads filter in, and Randy says, don't sleep in your driverless car. Do something of value. You can't do anything of value. You gotta keep your hands on the wheel. You gotta pay attention to the road. Lest your driverless car put you through a truck. But I remember these iPads came out, and I said to myself, these iPads are the stupidest thing in the world. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like a laptop without a keyboard. Why would I pay $800 for a laptop without a keyboard when they sell laptops at Walmart for $300? Doesn't make any sense. Stupid. It's a fad. Flash forward 6 years later and everybody's got a tablet. Everybody. I got a tablet. Everybody's got one now. How wrong I was. How wrong I was. Randy says, now you have to do it. In the future, once they're proven, you won't. Maybe so, man. Maybe so. You know what? I'll be that old cat in the future who always keeps my hands on the wheel. Always. I'll have my hand on that wheel. You have to pry that wheel from my cold, dead hands, Randy. I'm not taking my hands off the wheel. I don't trust these computers, all right? Anyways. Hey, guys. Thanks for being a part of this conversation. Randy, Clint, you guys rock. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, man. I got to get to bed. I've implemented a new bedtime of 10 o'clock, and I'm an hour late. So you guys are awesome. Thanks for being a part of the vlog tonight, guys. And if you want, we'll do more of these. Randy says the first accountants, when they started using computers, had to verify everything on paper until the programs were proven. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good point, man. It's a good point. It's a good point. I just feel like we're into a new kind of I feel like we're in new territory here. I just feel like we're in new territory. And all these analogies, they feel somehow less threatening and different to me. But I mean, whatever. You make good points, man. Good night, Clint. Good night, Randy. You guys rock. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, everybody.